Gato Perro, back with another review of Today on the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Hobgoblin from the Spider-Man 2015 wave. Straight up, I gotta tell you, this guy's really awesome. I'm really happy with it. Much better than the Build-A-Figure Ultimate Goblin that we got last year. This guy is exceptional. I've been looking forward to him ever since we saw him at the con. I absolutely love how he's an original sculpt, and he has pretty decent paint apps. And if you've been keeping up with the reviews of the other figures, you should know what accessories he comes with. And first, we're going to start with the head sculpt. It is really awesome looking. I feel like I got lucky with mine because the teeth seem to be perfectly painted on there. Looks just like he does in the comics with a really ghoulish looking face. Not too much paint apps on the actual face because it looks like a very flat beige color. But we do get kind of this orangey red for the eyes. You can actually see the tongue is painted on the inside with red. And the teeth are pretty beige greenish. Looks pretty cool. And then we get the holes that poke outside with the ears. And then the hoodie itself, it looks like it's textured with almost like this cloth looking kind of thing, which I think fits perfectly. And then towards the collar, it looks like it's more tattered up, more worn out. Matches perfectly, but then we don't get the same effect with the rest of the costume, which I guess is fine. Then we get towards the torso. It looks like it's more shaded in the middle from like this orangish yellow. Mostly orange color since it's obviously Hobgoblin. And then we get these buckles and these silver straps and everything going across. I always do love silver on figures, and we get kind of this chainmail pattern on the side of his abdomen as well on his little skirt thingy. I don't know what else to call it. Then we get some sleeves on the side with some wrinkling towards the end, and with these big claws at the end, which can hold the pumpkin bomb, which is really tiny and really hard to see on camera. But it does have the kind of traditional looking pumpkin bomb face smiling, and there's kind of like this whoosh fire effect that you can place in his hand, and it is kind of tricky, but you can use the little fire thingies to put in between his fingers. And then we got the big wings. Pretty cool. They're not articulated, which I wish they would have been, but you can take them off if you wish to. And I don't think the fact that they're not articulated really detracts from it. Maybe some bendy wire on here would have made it better so we can flap or something. But overall, I think they're really good looking. It looks like they're kind of made out of wood or some kind of material that also looks like it's burnt, worn out. There's some scratches in there, some dents. Black lining seems to be pretty clean. Some areas get kind of spotty. This backpack area, holds this kind of like this kind of sword thing, but without the flame on it. And it does also have the same texture as the sword, which we'll look at later. Also with the pumpkin bomb face on there. Some other textures. Looks like there's some wrapping around it. And it's kind of turquoise color. Not really as metallic as some other parts of the figure. And then we get towards this side. We get the big giant sword on this hand. Looking really cool. This is a huge sword. More bigger than the one I previously sold with the backpack. With the same texture and detail as the other one. Just a lot bigger, and this flame is just translucent with red and orange. More orange towards the bottom, but then I feel it's kind of flimsy. It might just be because I've been messing with it for a while now. But I don't think it should come off. I just feel like it's towards the end. It's probably going to come off and rip. So hopefully it doesn't. If it does, super glue should fix everything like always. Then towards the belt, more silver, which I love. They actually get some orange in between the holes, you know, where it's not looped into the belts. On the side, we got some pouches with some brown shading. Looking pretty nice. The back, we got some more chainmail, and the black belt looks kind of spottish, but also we get some leather texturing. And then we got these legs, which I could have sworn were the same as the Spider-Man or the Bucky Cap mold, but they're not. They're actually pretty new, since they have some different texturing going across, maybe some stitching on the side of the thigh, and the muscles continue all the way up. And for mine, I'm really happy that the legs do connect perfectly onto the pegs, because I've seen at least a couple of reviews where it seems like the peg on the legs a little bit too big for the actual notch that it actually pegs into. So happy with mine. It doesn't come off or anything, and articulation isn't too restricted, which I'll get into later. Then we got this kind of turquoise color for the knee pad with some texturing on there as too, or at least a pattern of more of an armor type of looking thing. And then we got the straps for the boots, more silver as always, more of a leather feel to it on the texture. And again with the turquoise and some really cool looking feet actually. I don't know why, I just like how these look. So that's the Hobgoblin. He looks absolutely amazing, just like he does in the comics. And for articulation, his head is able to go up. If you pinch his nose upwards, he'll kind of just duck underneath his own hoodie. But I guess I can work, and you can kind of make it go down, but not really, just semi-ish. You can rotate the hoodie a little bit and the head kind of as well. His arms are kind of they're kind of parallel, not parallel, but they're kind of lopsided articulation, because this guy over here on the left arm has a little bit more of a gap in between the arms, so he can go out a lot more. I'm also happy that this guy can hold his sword as firmly as he does, especially since I feel like his elbow's a little bit wobbly, but he holds it just as well, especially since it's kind of heavy for a figure. He does have a bicep cut right here. Double jointed elbows. He does have a wrist hinge. He does have an ab crunch that clicks down once and back once as well. He does have a waist swivel. His legs go forward. They do go out. It's not kind of hindered, but I don't know if they really would have gone out any more than that. He does have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees. His ankles go down, up, and he does have the ankle rocker. Now, despite being titled as a Build-A-Figure, Hobgoblin only stands at about 6.5 inches tall, which is a standard size for a Marvel Legends figure. Here he is to this wave Spider-Man. He looks pretty okay. He looks about bigger than him, which is how it should be. And last year's Build-A-Figure Ultimate Green Goblin. So yeah, he's not as big, but I do like him a lot better since he has a lot more texture, and he is an original body mold, as I mentioned before. And I think just the fun factor is much bigger on him than this guy. He was just a straight up remold of the Hulk from the Avengers movie. And I do like him a lot more, as I already said repeatedly. So I think as a whole, this wave is really good. I really do highly recommend it. And I think if I had to basically put all these characters in a list of my favorite from like least to best or best to least, I think my favorite would be number 1. I think besides Hobgoblin, because he's probably like number 1. Maybe even number 1 from the wave would be Spider-Man 2099. Sorry, Hobgoblin. Coming first. Second would be the classic Spider-Man. And then I guess in third place would be the Daredevil. Fourth place, Anti-Venom. Fifth place would be the Spider-Girl with the Ben Reilly costume. And then I guess last place would be the Ultimate Spider-Woman, unfortunately. But not to detract from that, because the wave is pretty amazing. I do enjoy all these figures. And it is always nice to get females and female Spider-Women in my Spider-Man collection. So that's it for this review. This is really good Build-A-Figure. I would give him like a 9.5 out of 10. The paint is awesome. The sculpt is great. And he looks just like he does in the comics. So I would go ahead and build them up with the entire series if you could find it. Maybe you want to get some eBay pieces instead if you don't want to get some of the figures. But that should be it for now. Gato perro.